Welcome to Ladies of Another View on Beck. I am Mary, and I'm joined today by April. And also, we have Luann, Poitra, and Melissa Plentychief, and they are with United Tribes Technical College, and they're going to talk to us today. We're going to learn a lot about the United Tribes event weekend coming up. Yeah. So, ladies, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So why don't you just go ahead and get started. Tell us all about the powwow, how it got started, and where we're at today.
Oh, wow.
So this year is our 51st annual. The powwow is going to begin on Friday, grand entry at 7 p.m., Saturday at 1 and 7 p.m., and Sunday at 1 p.m.
Now, Melissa, you're the chair for the event, aren't you?
Yes, correct.
And how long have you been doing that?
This is my first year, but I served in some capacity over the years since I've been working there, so I'm familiar with it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, you know, it's been it's constantly growing. You know, United Tribes Powwow. Way back, you know, they started the powwow because you know, they started the United Tribes. It was different. It had a different name.
It was a technical.
Just a technical college, you know.
Right.
And for Native Americans that were in the Bismarck-Mandan area are, you know, relocated, you know, there. So they had a kind of like a tribal school. And of course, the Americans coming, you know, on their way from home, you know, there was a few that were like, we would like to have a powwow. You know, it was the Fox family that really kind of headed off, and they're one of our biggest sponsors. And yeah, we're very thankful for them because they can tell us the stories and the history of United Tribes powwow. So it's really nice.
Great. And when we talk about the powwow, you said it's the 51st year?
Yes.
All right. And so just why don't you explain to our viewers what is all entailed in a powwow? What is the meaning? Is it to come together at the end of the season, to kind of gather with friends and family? I'm talking from years back. Is it to celebrate life, an event, or what is the exact, or how did they come into being? Do you have some of the old history?
So it's just basically celebrating culture, everybody coming together, sharing their style of dance, their regalia, their beadwork, everything tells their own story about their history or their individualities. Everybody just comes together to have a good time, be with family and be in our culture.
Yeah, wonderful.
Well, I know something I really want to learn about is the grand entry. So can you guys elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah.
So grand entry, it's probably the best time you can see every category out there. Within an hour, you can see the elderly all the way down to the babies, the children. So you'll see men's traditional, men's grass, men's fancy, women's traditional, women's fancy, women's jingle, and all of the tiny tots, as we call the children.
Yeah.
They all have their own
They're so cute.
styles,
Kind
categories.
of
You guys
brings
also,
everyone together in that one, you know, in a grand entry. And our first grand entry is going to be one to see. We also will have Governor Burgum and the First Lady and Mayor Bakken.
Wow,
So
that's nice.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
just the
that'll be
circle
nice.
brings everyone together.
right. Well, we have one of our own locals. His name is Fred Rios. He actually did some beadwork for Governor Burgum, and I'm assuming he would probably wear that. But beautiful. It has a coin in the middle, and he's very proud of his beadwork. He gives it out to different politicians and just people in general.
Wow.
Famous for his beadwork. So along with the powwow, then you also have vendors out there, food vendors and
yeah.
craft vendors. Tell us about that.
So right now we have about 9 food vendors and we have space for 14. So if you're interested, you still have some time. For arts and crafts, we have about 55 and there's space for about 65. So there's still some time for vendors to submit an application. Yeah. They sell anywhere from beadwork, regalia, just anything of our culture. And for food vendors, they usually sell whatever they specialize in. It's a variety. There's pizza, kettle corn, just a variety.
Tacos.
Yes.
You can't go to a powwow without the Indian taco. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So, but also some of your vendors also sell supplies to go ahead and make different traditional
definitely.
wear.
Right.
Yep. Along with books, you know, I think I got a how-to book for something like with moccasins or, you know,
That's
making
super
dresses.
neat.
Yeah. So, and yeah, so you can pick up things done, things to create, you know.
Now, is
you
there
have it
some
all.
traditional food, or are there any feasts or anything like that that's happening?
Yes, on Sunday we are actually having a free buffalo feed. Yeah. So,
Ooh.
and then all our events they have, like I know, like the golf team will be having buffalo sandwiches. You know, the golf tournament, and then there is free feeds, a breakfast and a supper each day.
Yep.
Yep. So, a lot of times, I mean, it's the people putting it on who, you know, they choose what they're gonna put in there. But I know for sure on Sunday you'll be able to get some buffalo stew,
Now,
buffalo.
does that come from the Fort Yates herd? That there's a buffalo herd down there. Is that where it comes from, or do you know who donated it?
Not sure.
I don't remember who donated it this year, but it's a rotation through our 5 governing tribes.
In
So-
North Dakota.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, and so
awesome.
I know I'm going to butcher this word, but menudo or menundo soup. Tell us about that. It's got tripe in it.
Yep. Well, there's tripe and then there's menudo.
Okay.
Yep. Menudo is more of the southern. You have more spices, more, of course, the different peppers, you know, and whatnot. Tripe is more.
Can I ask what tripe is?
You want to explain?
It's like the way my grandmother made it. It's like menudo without all of the spices. It's a different flavor.
Okay.
It's like made. It's like cow intestines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard it's fantastic. That's why I had to ask.
It's made with cow intestines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just cut into, and it's very good. It really is. And once you get past to what you're eating, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
It really
I've
is.
heard it's wonderful. Yeah.
I like the menudo more than the tripe
tripe.
myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the
Wonderful.
spices.
Awesome. And so then tonight, there's going to be a fashion show.
Yep.
Tell us about that. Is it related to, it's just one of the events of the entire weekend, right?
Yes.
It's not related to the powwow?
Yes, it's not really, and it kind of just kind of starts off. We already have tons of campers coming out with their RVs. You know, there's people staying out there, and then the students. You know, everyone's housed on campus. You know, before they were off campus, so it's just a fashion show to kind of like open up like all the events for the weekend.
And the designer's like a fancy designer, right?
Yeah, Darlene Perkins. Yeah, she's pretty well known and has great things. Yeah, I
Great.
think she makes jewelry, clothes. She does it all.
And she lives in New York, right? Or Paris?
in no, California.
California, okay.
California. Yep.
Yeah, that's so, but from here.
Yep, from MHA. Yes.
Yeah, that's
Great.
exciting.
Well, we have so much more that we want to talk about, but we're going to have to take a quick break right now. So stick around, and we want our viewers to stick around. We'll be right back after this on Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Respect, innovation, trust, and excellence. These core values can be seen in every building built by Straightway Construction. In the community for over 15 years, Straightway Construction has become the premier construction company for commercial projects. From dirt to design and framing to finish, Straightway Construction is your #1 choice. You won't have to look far to find a project that has that Straightway touch. Call them today or go online to straightwayconstruction.com and let them make your vision a reality.
I'm Rick Becker.
And I'm Lori Hins.
Welcome to No Apologies, your after-hours oasis of sanity.
Your retreat begins at 9 Central on Beck News and online at beck.news.
Hi, I'm Dennis Haugen, along with my sons Andy and Mike, and we're showing our support for wind energy in North Dakota.
Wind energy has provided farmers like us with a steady stream of income that's not tied to the weather like crops and cattle are.
Another bonus is that wind farm owners are required to maintain the roads leading up to the turbines. Because of that, oftentimes these roads are the best in the county.
Wind energy is good for landowners, it's good for the land, it's good for our economy, and it's good for North Dakota.
Hi, everybody. I'm Doug Billings, host of The Right Side with Doug Billings, where we take great joy every day in entering into your lives at key moments to make differences for the better. That's how we fulfill the meaning of life, folks. I have the high-profile guests that you want to hear from The Right Side. I also have truth, honesty, morality, God. We have it all on our side. We also take a lot of joy in pointing out the intellectual immaturity of liberals everywhere. You can see me on Beck TV and Beck.News. Cheers.
Pub 21, your one stop for fun, drinks, and food. Our spacious facility provides COVID-safe fun for you and all your friends. With nightly bingo and specials, you can be sure there's something to do for everyone. If you're staying in for the night, we've got you covered just across the way with Pub 21 Liquor. We have a wide variety of options, from wine to whiskey and everything in between. Stop in today at 1014 South 12th Street in Bismarck to see what all the buzz is about. You won't be disappointed.
40 years ago, Aero Service Team started with one truck and lots of hard work.
Times may have changed, but the hard work that we put in to get your lives back in order after fire, water, and disaster hasn't.
Over the years, we've seen so many families lose their belongings due to water and fire damage. Restoring homes back to the original state has made every hour of hard work well worth it.
Thank you for trusting our family with yours.
When disaster strikes, you only have to make one call. Aero Service Team does it all.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. We've been visiting with Luann and Melissa here about the United Tribes Technical College event weekend, basically, because there's more than just a powwow going on. There's so many other events. But tell us, last year, you guys had to cancel because of COVID. Tell us how that affected you.
That, you know, it was definitely made summer very, very boring. You know, it was planning, you know, things coming up, and we didn't have that, and it was just, you know, you just definitely felt it, you know, and like even with community members definitely reached out, and like, man, it's just too bad, you know, about this powwow, you know, because, you know, we fill every hotel, you know, restaurants are full, and you know, everyone comes to the powwow, and not having that, it was just on all events, you know, it was just kind of like disheartening. But we, you know, COVID was kind of going, you know, in the run, so we were able to, like, we weren't set back too much financially, and a lot of our sponsors really worked with us, and, you know, just told us it was okay to roll the money over till the next year. And so, yeah, really thankful for that, and it worked out. But yeah, so we're in the, you know, 52nd year of United Tribes, but the 51st year of the powwow.
What was economically devastating in a lot of ways, but community-wise, right? Like, because that's your togetherness, and when you guys can all come together in bonds. And
then we couldn't really see each other, you know, and it's always like we see each other and we're always like, give a hug or, you know, and something, and it was just disheartening to see somebody that you knew for years and just kind of have to give a wave.
Air five.
Yeah.
Well, because family is such a big deal for Native Americans. It's like grandmas and aunties and uncles. It seems like it's just one big family where it's just so loving and kind and giving, I guess, is what I would say. And so I can see where that would be.
So I think exactly for that, we had a social responsibility, so we wanted to keep everybody safe and just made the best decision that we could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But then now we're back in full force,
right?
Yeah, definitely. So tell us all the other events for this year.
We have United Tribes Golf Tournament. We pretty much have, like, oh my gosh, anywhere between 32 to 38 teams every year, groups of 4. It's constantly climbing golf, you know.
And where do you play?
We're playing at Prairie West. In years past, is Apple Creek, you know, we're doing Prairie West. They're, you know, constantly thinking of other things they can do, different golf courses maybe, you know, in the years to come. Our softball tournament is pretty huge also, Legends. We're at close to around 100 teams.
Wow, that's this weekend, 100 teams?
Yes.
100 teams.
Yeah, we were looking into it, you know, and we're like, the softball chair was like, pretty sure we're the second largest tournament in North Dakota now.
Oh, wow.
Because before we were like 60 teams, you know, 70 teams, but yeah, close to 100 this weekend. So that's we're really excited for that.
Now, do you think that's because of maybe with COVID and people couldn't participate? So now a lot of people are trying to do whatever they can?
Yes, yes, I think so.
So awesome.
Yeah, and great, you know, both of them are extremely competitive, you know, so it's going to be a really good weekend. And then we have the Thunderbird Run, which is a 5 and 10K. And that will happen Saturday morning.
I do have to interject that if you are wanting to race, it's flat. It has one small incline, and it's the fastest course I've ever ran a 10K on. Just saying.
Just saying.
It's really fast. So
she's a runner. She's a marathoner, so
it's really fast.
Yeah, so we have that. We have the high school basketball tournament going on. And in conjunction with that, what is it called? A referee camp clinic. Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, so you can get licensed or get what you need to get licensed to be a referee.
Certificate or something, I suppose.
Yeah. So all these events going on, we just can't wait.
So I have a question. It's called an international powwow, and I've been there in years past where they've had, I can't remember what country, but they had these big plume feathers. Tell us some of the different countries that have come to your powwow in the past.
Oh, wow, there's quite a few. I think we had fire dancers from Hawaii.
Wow.
And smoke dancers. There's been quite a few. Well, you know, and they were coming kind of like as an exhibit, you know, like, you know, now we only have like just dancers just coming to compete, and you know, because it's a competition powwow. And so we have dancers coming from basically mainly Northern Plains, but quite a few have traveled a ways, like from Canada, you know, from the southern United States. And we have spectators. They're always reaching out, you know, from different countries and asking about North Dakota and to what they need, hotels and whatnot. So, yeah, it's.
We also have some vendors that come from, like Arizona, Washington. They're coming from everywhere, basically.
And so there is a competition circuit that people just kind of travel around the country?
Oh, definitely, yes. It's not too much of a traditional powwow, you'll see,
Right.
but and competition, great money, good singers. The singing contest is huge, and so man, to hear, you know, those drums each year is just, it's really breathtaking.
And when is the competition?
It starts on Friday. So Friday, grand entry, 7 p.m. So all the drummers that, you know, are singing do the grand entry, you'll hear from all of them. And the dancers, you know, they all get points each grand entry, and then when they compete. So then after grand entry, they'll start like with Tiny Tots. And they just get day money. They don't have to compete. They're all winners.
There you go.
They're all winners. And then it gets into the juniors. And so you'll see each category. The agenda could be found on our website. You know, some people like...
We have that graphic too for the website.
Okay. Yeah, some people have like their favorite category of dance that like they watch, so make sure that they're there for that.
And so quickly, what do you guys do with the proceeds? I heard you do some fantastic giving.
Yeah, all proceeds that are, generated from all events go back to scholarships to students. So the students profit from it all. And last year, the 2019, we were able to give $50,000 to students. Yes.
Tuition.
Yep.
Wow.
That's so exciting.
It is. It's a really good thing, and so that's why we always invite, you know, community, everybody, sponsors. You know, it's like, come help us put on a great event for the community. You know, and help students get education.
And quickly, how much is it to come in and just watch? How much at the gate?
$20 for the weekend and $15 for the day.
So ladies, I just want to say I want to thank you for coming today, because it's fantastic. And if you viewers haven't been to a powwow, this is the one to go to. This is the daddy of them all, if you will.
Yes.
But thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Right, and we will be right back after this on Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Jeez, what a mess. Look at that. There's roof stuff everywhere. It's so embarrassing. Ruins the neighborhood. Come on, humans. Let's get this fixed.
Don't let your roof go to the dogs. Call America's Best Contractors for your free estimate.
Need a new woof?
After checking with the rest, go with the best. America's Best Contractors. 258-2412. Online at americasbestcontractorsincorporated.com.
At Beck Communications, we've been planning for your future. Over the past decade, we've placed nearly 200,000 miles of dedicated fiber optics in the ground. Enough fiber optic strands to circle the world 8 times. Taking no shortcuts, we connected every home and business in our service area with dedicated fiber optics. It's your personal, unrestricted, unthrottled connection to the world. Best of all, this dedicated fiber means you do not share your connection. We call this intimate, dedicated connection Beck Fiber.
Ever been in a cave before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the car! How will we? The car! Your offer has been accepted. Ever bought a house before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the closing. But how will we? The closing!
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing, because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty.
You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more.
Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
1-800-219-1467.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm coming to you with one of the most important commercials that I've ever done. All of you know what MyPillow and myself have gone through in the last 8 months in my efforts to bring the truth forward. Well, now you can help in a couple ways. First, get everyone you know to go to my new media platform, frankspeech.com. There you'll find all the footage from my cyber symposium and many other important broadcasts. Also, I am personally doing a new daily live show to get the truth out. It's at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. Secondly, I'm offering some of the best prices ever on MyPillow products, but they're only available on frankspeech.com. Go to frankspeech.com now and use the promo code on your screen, or call the 1-800 number below to receive these exclusive MyPillow offers. Thank you and God bless.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. And now Jan has magically appeared. Welcome to the show, Jan.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry you missed that, but
I saw it all. It was awesome.
It was, isn't it? Have you been to the powwows?
I haven't personally been to the whole thing. I've been out there and toured the arts and crafts and things, but wasn't able to stay for all the regalia that they spoke of. But I have seen some of the jingle dancers and the like at a great big festival in Minnesota this summer, so that was pretty fun.
Wow. So we're going to kind of hop into another subject here. This one's a tougher one. Over the weekend, it was released, I think it was on Tuesday, that there has been a declaration of the people of the United States for global peace and prosperity. Now, you might ask, what is that exactly? Right? Because it's
deep.
It's deep. So this is a deep subject, and we're just going to kind of try to hit the highlights or just the high points. And we're going to, offer you to go ahead and do your own research as far as getting more information. And we'll have more information as the months and year progresses. But this basically came about because it's widely circulated in constitutional circles that our country just might not be going in the right direction. Not following the Constitution. Jan, I know you're good with the Constitution.
I'm learning.
You're learning, but it's a big learning curve, and it's something that we should all know about. But I want you to first listen to this clip.
Because this is the benchmark, if you like. This is the red line that has been laid out for and on behalf of the people of America, that is now challenging the deep state and the cabal head on. And this is put out in writing. This is the first document. There will be many more other documents that follow this. But today is to go through very, very simply where we're at. And where we're at right now is this declaration has been published. It's come from the very, very top. And it went across the lawyers, it went across a number of lawyers' desks before they let me have it, to make sure that the wording was accurate and right. And the first part, for anybody who knows that, and Liz would know better than most about the 1776, the Declaration of 1776, the Constitution. This is virtually word for word at the beginning, because at the moment the mainstream media is still refusing to cover anything. And when I say refusing to cover anything, I'm talking about the overthrowing of the government in Iceland, the court cases in Alberta in Canada, that and also in Germany, that pointed out very clearly that COVID-19 does not exist. They've now, the WHO, the CDC, and the FDA have been unable to provide a shred of evidence in a court of law that it even exists. And yet the mainstream media have refused to cover it.
All right, so that's a lot to chew on.
It is.
Yeah. It is, but it seems like basically they drew this up to kind of organize and to think about the problems that we're facing today. We're kind of in a world of hurt. We're on the brink of, hey, this is where we were 246 years ago, and this is where we are now. It's almost like it's time for another revolution.
And it's all about protecting our individual liberties and our rights, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, I was kind of reading through it, and I watched the video, and there was a lot of going around in circles, and I kind of lost myself in the middle of it. I don't know if you had the same experience, but I've been doing these Constitution studies with Paul Engel from the Constitution Study, and he says we have the government that we deserve because we have voted these people in, we keep re-electing them, and by doing that, we've given them our consent to do what they will in Washington. Same thing in our own state. And this declaration is almost copied the regular declaration that we have now. And it's like, it's just like the Bill of Rights and everything else. It's not necessarily, this is just my opinion, that we need to rewrite them. We just need to follow the one that we have.
Right.
Right, and I think what this one does, though, it kind of puts in today's, there were things that they didn't foresee 246 years ago, like this pandemic that we're going through, and everything that's being forced upon us right now, just, with the different employers that want you to get that vaccine. And they didn't foresee that. So a lot of that is written in there. But let's take a look at this next clip.
The Declaration of 1776.
Well, like you said, you highlighted the essence of it in on the first page, and the bottom line, in my estimation, is this: that the deep state has violated every precept that we hold dear regarding our Constitution and our values, and the executive order that Trump signed on September 12th of 2018 will actually summarize and bring together the teeth and the reason behind the arrest of all of these perpetrators that have intended to deliberately and are consistently deliberately with incredible malfeasance tearing down every aspect of our Constitution and our rights, including the mainstream media, because they are collaborators in perpetrating the lie of the election and therefore guilty of high treason. That Executive Order 13848 also stipulates that the assets will be seized of these perpetrators. And I'm sure that he's been giving us hints that he intends to sue the CCP for what they have done, not only in that regard, but also, of course, with the COVID and the scamdemic. So essentially, I think the executive order of September 12, 2018, 13848 is going to handle this, in my opinion.
Wow.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot to chew. So basically what they're saying, there's so much crime going on just within our own government that we, the people, need to stand up and make a stand. And they don't want it to do like a revolution in the sense where a civil war. That's not what they're looking for. They want you to go ahead and contact your legislators, use them for what they're there for.
Right.
To go ahead, contact them to make the changes. But also within this new declaration, they talk about the voting and how that was cheated and how there was, so much information that wasn't allowed. There are votes that were just called ghost votes. They just showed up.
Showed up out of nowhere.
Right?
Middle of the night, no consequences.
Nothing.
Nope.
And so there's enough information out there that they feel very strongly that there's going to be some arrests made. Now, when that happens, we don't know. We wish we had a crystal ball.
If somebody gives you a date, those are the people to not trust.
Right.
But there's a saying that, we get the government we deserve. It's kind of a frustrating thing when you see that Biden has actually extended Trump's executive order on foreign influence in our elections. Riddle me that. In this whole scheme of how things are falling together, why would he do that? I'm reading through this and I can see the frustration in everybody's voice and in the words that they chose and how they mimicked the current Declaration of Independence. But if we didn't have the original documents to fall back on and the intent of the founding fathers, we wouldn't need this.
Right.
Right.
You're absolutely correct.
And we need to constantly contact all of our legislators, whether it's senators, representatives, the dog catcher, whoever it is that you don't like whatever job they're doing, you need to constantly contact them. We need to be more involved in our own government.
But I think what part of the problem is too, with the fraudulent happenings of the election, the people that we voted for may not necessarily be the ones in office. That there's discrepancies. And so there's a lot to chew on here, but we're not going to get to it all this segment. In fact, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to watch a few messages, and we'll be right back after this on Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Since opening in Hebron in 1940, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your hometown bank. Our mission has been to provide modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. We've grown with the communities we serve through year-round events, countless sponsorships, and nearly 7,000 hours of volunteering each year. Learn more about our 80-year history at dakotacommunitybank.com.
Hop in the rig and go down the road with me. We'll cover local and national stories that impact you. This is an opportunity to hear the other side, the progressive side. I think people lose sight of the fact that there's still work that happens after the session's over. Describe it to people if you would. There was an attack on NDSU, in my personal opinion. I'll use that word, you don't have to. Down the road with Joel Heitkamp weekdays at 5:30 Central on Beck News and online at beck.news.
Respect, innovation, trust, and excellence. These core values can be seen in every building built by Straightway Construction. In the community for over 15 years, Straightway Construction has become the premier construction company for commercial projects. From dirt to design and framing to finish, Straightway Construction is your #1 choice. You won't have to look far to find a project that has that Straightway touch. Call them today or go online to straightwayconstruction.com and let them make your vision a reality.
Jeez, what a mess. Look at that. There's roof stuff everywhere. It's so embarrassing. Ruins the neighborhood. Come on, humans. Let's get this fixed.
Don't let your roof go to the dogs. Call America's Best Contractors for your free estimate.
Need a new woof?
After checking with the rest, go with the best. America's Best Contractors. 258-2412. Online at americasbestcontractorsincorporated.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in America. Over the last 12 years, you've helped MyPillow create thousands of jobs right here in the USA.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
That's why I invented MyPillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck supported and aligned. I'm interrupting this commercial right now. Retailers have canceled MyPillow, and to thank you for your support, I'm gonna pass the savings directly on to you. Go to MyPillow.com right now to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. For example, you can get my premium MyPillows, regularly $69.98, now just $29.98, the lowest price ever.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View. I'm Beck. I hope you grabbed a cup of coffee because there's a lot to
rinse down.
Right? And so let's just get started with this next clip.
I think people will look back and realize history is in the making. We see so many statements and so much on social media or the internet or YouTube that for many people, it doesn't actually have the impact it should. If you imagine a house that's built, Charlie, you start with the foundations. And when the foundations are good, you add on level after level. And this foundation is nothing more than a call, not just to the American people, but to the people of the world to say, here is everything in order. It's structured. And this is what's been done to you, the people. And I think and I hope that over the coming days, Charlie, when you receive updates, they'll be dealing with specific aspects. And Mel Kay and you picked up some important points earlier, and that was that there's going to be a good, clear route for people to sue the vaccine companies. And I said, well, if 100 million Americans sue and each man and woman is awarded $1 billion, that is the end of the pharmaceutical industry in the United States and probably across the planet. So I'm really excited because I see what this is. For me, this is the starting gun, Charlie. This is the gun at the beginning of the race. And all the things that all patriots want now will follow. Not in the order that we want, but I believe they'll follow.
I have to agree with Simon. I read the declaration. It's not just a declaration, it's a denunciation of the crimes that are being committed as we speak against everybody on the planet, really, not just the US, although it's a very US specific declaration. It does make mention that it's a global situation that we're facing. So it's a denunciation, it's a declaration, and actually what I liked most about it is that it's a call for action. It spells out certain steps that every one of us can take to help in the process of changing this incredible situation that we're now facing.
That's a whole lot of hopium right there.
It is. But if we, the people, don't stand up, We were a free country back in 1776, moved forward 246 years, and look where we are. We were the freest country in the world. And now it's like, where are our freedoms at? They're just slowly and surely slipping away, one by one, just one little legislative piece at a time. And that's the part that's frustrating. But the rest of the world is watching. They're watching America to see how this is going to happen, see what route this is going to take. Because, like it or not, we are the freest country in the world. People come here for freedom.
Yep.
I mean, you can go to Europe, and yes, they're free countries, but they still have more restrictions than what we have here.
Yep. Well, I do feel that there should be compensation and liability for anyone that is mandating the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Because, number one, why would you fight compensation or liability if you know it's safe?
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you know it's safe,
and effective.
why would you not make people feel better about taking it? Also, I feel that there should be consequences for those employers and for the pharmaceutical companies just across the board. It's not fair to everybody. And with them not wanting to do medical exemptions or religious exemptions either. Since when can't you have those? And that's been with everything, the flu shot, any shot,
Mm-hmm.
and now you can't. I mean, what happened to our specific individual rights? It doesn't matter if you're pro-vaccine or not, it's still our rights. And I'm a firm believer in you teach people how to treat you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, in Arizona, for example, they put a law into effect that said that no one in the government, like we did here, can mandate masks, vaccines, any of that type of thing. However, it wasn't slated to take effect until sometime later this month. So one of the towns, Tucson, said, oh, well, we're going to require it for all of our citizens. Now it's battling through the courts. There's a stay so that they don't, but in the meanwhile, they're pushing it, and there's going to be people that are taking it that would not have otherwise. And I think those entities also should be held liable.
Right on. I mean, you can watch any pharmaceutical commercial and the list of the problems afterwards.
Goodness.
It's horrible.
We're one of only 2 countries that allow that to happen, allow them to advertise on our programs.
What is the other country?
I want to say it's some island somewhere. I don't recall. But, it's like, why are we allowing it? We don't, we're entertained by it. I don't
like
know.
that they hide the side effects, because
Right.
that's what I don't like either. If there's good and bad in every situation, and we should bring to light both. And I think that's what makes a lot of Americans skeptical of the vaccine that maybe wouldn't be, is that they hide so many things. Tell me that 1 of 100 people have side effects, or that there's been thousands of people, tens of thousands of people that have died from it. Don't hide it. There's still people that get the vaccine that are like, oh yeah, I'm protected. I can go here, and I can go to Blarney Stone, and I can go to all these places, and I'm safe. No, you can still get COVID, and you can still pass COVID and just think it's allergies. There's so much misinformation, and that's what makes Americans skeptical. And I just can't stand it.
Oh, I know. All right, so we got a couple more we want to get to. This is about the authors, because everyone's wondering who wrote this. So I just want to quickly cover that.
So history will look back and say that this document represented the beginning of the end of the cabal.
I totally agree. Yes, I do know the author. But it was not just written by one person. This was a group of people who put this together, a group of brilliant minds. And once it was put together, it went across a number of desks, let's put it that way, on the legal and on the spiritual side.
I think we have a copy of it here. And basically it's almost identical to the original declaration, but it's basically updated for today's times. And so it doesn't take away any freedoms. It's actually pointing out some of the flaws that they didn't anticipate back 246 years ago. But it starts out, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And so with that being said, we have one more clip to get to because we're running out of time.
Starting off with compensation and liability for harm against those who have been coerced, into taking the
By media.
COVID-19 vaccination via mass media influence and federal government influence, as well as mandates with illegal passage of the use of the vaccine approvals from the FDA. So they've got everything there.
Yeah.
So that they're making people aware that the pathway is now clear, and they've named them the United Nations or nation, the Federal Reserve, the Council
Yeah,
of Foreign Relations.
Even the IRS, even the
Yep.
Internal Revenue Service is mentioned in the same paragraph, which is
Yep.
interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I think what shocked me was they've come out in black and white and said
Yes.
how many people they expect to die from having 2 doses of vaccine, and that for me is quite shocking, Charlie.
Okay, so like I said, there's a lot to absorb, and what we're going to do is have the link put up on a website where you can get to the link by watching the show today, or just log on to beck.news, and you'll be able to find the entire 30-minute podcast and reach your own conclusions. We're just here to kind of give you the information and just kind of whet the appetite to see if it has any teeth.
Yep. Lots to dig through, so get your notepad ready and be willing to compare to the original document. Then you'll see what's been added.
Right, and it's a 6-page document, and we did have it for the screen, but we'll never get through all of it. Is there
No.
quickly
Oh, no.
something you guys saw that you want to point out?
Well, I like the compensation and liability. I also think it addresses cancel culture and then immigration as well.
And taxes without consent.
Yes.
So, you know, nobody wants to pay more than their fair share.
Well, and so this could be the beginning of the Great Reset, in a sense, where but you have to get out and talk to your legislators. So we've simply run out of time for this topic today, but it's a good one. So go ahead and do your research, and don't be afraid to email us and ask us questions, and hopefully we can find the answers. But we'll be right back with our lighter side right after this on Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Respect, innovation, trust, and excellence. These core values can be seen in every building built by Straightway Construction. In the community for over 15 years, Straightway Construction has become the premier construction company for commercial projects. From dirt to design and framing to finish, Straightway Construction is your #1 choice. You won't have to look far to find a project that has that Straightway touch. Call them today or go online to straightwayconstruction.com and let them make your vision a reality.
Deciding how to promote your business can be hard. Visit the professionals at Dakota Promotions and Printing and let them help you through your struggle. Dakota Promotions provides promotional items and apparel, from corporate gifts to team shirts and everything in between. With quick turnaround times and friendly service, they are your best choice. And best yet, you're shopping local. Visit them online at dakotapromo.com or stop in their showroom at 320 West Main in Mandan. Dakota Promotions, delivering promotions just for you.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream sheets. When you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Every great pizza has a secret. At New York To Go, that secret lies in our perfectly recreated New York water, the key ingredient to making our signature New York-style pizza. We also feature gyros, with the region's only gyro meat spit, plus Nathan's hot dogs, calzones, and our delicious jumbo buffalo wings. Try a 14-inch or our special giant 20-inch pizza tonight. You gotta know how to fold them if you want to hold them. New York To Go, we deliver for you.
40 years ago, Aero Service Team started with one truck and lots of hard work.
Times may have changed, but the hard work that we put in to get your lives back in order after fire, water, and disaster hasn't.
Over the years, we've seen so many families lose their belongings due to water and fire damage. Restoring homes back to the original state has made every hour of hard work well worth it.
Thank you for trusting our family with yours.
When disaster strikes, you only have to make one call. Aero Service Team does it all.
Welcome to No Apologies, your after-hours oasis of sanity.
God, your ego is so tiny.
Yep, and fragile. I'm Rick Becker.
And I'm Lori Hins.
Make no mistake, folks, we lost. Again, we lost the war in Afghanistan. Dynamic. There's nothing wrong with rattling the cages of the old guard.
Your retreat begins at 9 Central on Beck News and online at beck.news.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. This brings us to our lighter side.
Lots of fun.
You know, sometimes there's a lot of information and it's overwhelming. And does it stress us out? Yes. I'll tell you a quick little story. Last night, my husband fell asleep in the chair watching TV, and he gets up. He goes, Mary, I just had a dream I was over in Afghanistan, and so was my brother. And Senator Kevin Cramer was there. And it was just weird, but he had fallen asleep watching the news, but he's in Afghanistan, and they're all there trying to help people. And so Kevin was going to try to help get Kenny and Eugene out, and it was
so
just
a nightmare.
Well, I was hoping he'd come home.
Well,
but
yeah.
Anyway, but it's just, I guess my point is our topics do get a little heavy sometimes, but we'd like to leave you with a lighter side. And so Jan shared this, so let's go ahead and take a look at the video.
Now we're making rope.
Wow. So for
Lots of
years
fun.
and years, I've used ropes, never knew how they were made.
Well, first they twisted the individual strands, then they twisted the individual strands together, and then they had this thing that braided it as they got closer.
So neat.
I watched it 4 times. All 4 of my grandkids got one, and I was flabbergasted. And the knot tying ability of the gentleman up at the other end, it was like,
It
whoa.
looked like magic.
Seriously. I mean, there was so much going on, you know, it was almost sensory overload for the kids by the end of the day, because there was steam-powered tractors, there's steam and coal-powered trains, there's a sawmill, and they take orders a year ahead of time for them to make fresh sawn lumber for you. I mean, and to see how these are powered by these big flywheels and stuff that are the size of, boy, a building. It's incredible. It's something you should put on your bucket list for sure. It's in Rolog, Minnesota.
Yeah, so where were you? Tell us about that.
Well, it's the annual Midwest Steam Threshers Reunion, I believe is what they call it. But all of these different participants bring tractors from the earliest that were made. You know, some of them, they're just all clunky, small metal things that I didn't even understand. You take somebody like my husband along that's going, oh yeah, my dad used to do one of those, and here's what it upgraded to. And I mean, it was really fascinating. The grandkids learned a lot. We had a blast. There was lots of food. We saw homesteaders that were making things over open fires. And it's like, okay, we're doing the turkey here today over the fire. It'll be ready about 8 o'clock. And then over here, she's got a big cast iron stew pot. And I'm like, wow, what's in there? And she goes, well, all the bones from yesterday's meal. Yeah, and we're making stock, and we're just throwing all our veggies and stuff in like we would have back then. They have old towns set up. This is what the library looked like. This is what the old homes looked like. Here's where they didn't have electricity. Here's when it graduated to that. They have tractors that pull around big carts for people to go from one end to the other, because this thing is acres and acres and acres. They have school buses that take you from the parking area to the gate because it's that far and there's that many people. They figure there's about 80,000 people that come through in a 3-day period.
Man.
And then there's a lake there, and actually...
It's very small, and they have a fake Loch Ness monster in the middle of it, and I never noticed it until this year. It was crazy, because everybody was pointing, and I was like, what? I didn't see it.
But don't they have two different steam engine trains or coal or
you know,
locomotives that go around and give you rides around the lake?
They do, and you know, you have to be in line for a long time, and they take a lot of people, but I looked at it, and I kept thinking, don't get on the train. You know, it looks like the big carts that hauled all the people to Auschwitz, and I just had a freak moment, and I was really glad that they cut it off about 25 people before us, and we took one of those tractor-driven carts back to the gate when we were all tired out, because it was just like they just put all the people in there, and I was like, no, I can't do it.
And so that was a steam thresher, and there's a lot of steam thresher shows in our area. I want to say New Rockford has one, and I think there's one down on the southern, kind of in the same neck of the woods, but down south. Like, I don't know if it's Hazelton or where.
I think there's one coming up this weekend.
Yeah, and that might be in, we don't know.
We don't know.
You need to Google that, or I shouldn't use that word. You should just go ahead, look that up for yourself, because there are steam threshing shows all over. Take the kids, the grandkids, and just learn about our history, that, you know, because every generation we lose a little bit more of that all of the time. Yeah. So have you ever been to a threshing bee?
I've learned so much today. There's so many things I've never been to, but I didn't grow up here. So I have never, but I can't wait to learn. And I can't wait to go to the powwow this weekend.
There you go.
It's going to be awesome.
Try some of the food. How about you, Jan? What are you up to?
More building.
More building.
The project continues.
It does.
We'll bring pictures someday.
Oh, yes. That would be kind of fun to see the update, because that encourages. We had that on one of our hometown shows. But we want to thank you all for joining us. And again, you know, we try to give the facts, and go ahead and dig a little deeper, get some of your own research, and then kind of compile it and see if it makes sense. But we got to go for now, but we'll see you next time on Ladies of Another View on Back.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota.
I really like the fact that it was made in the USA. I think that USA products are a better quality product. I've tried a lot of other pillows and nothing's worked like MyPillow.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now. Retailers have canceled MyPillow, and to thank you for your support, I'm gonna pass the savings directly on to you. For example, you get my 6-piece towel sets, regular $109.99, now only $44.98. Or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The Go Anywhere pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
Go Anywhere pillow is really comfortable, so that's what I really like. It's nice and supportive, and it's nice and small.
The MyPillow topper, for the first time, has enabled me to have a cool night's sleep. I'm able to go to bed and just get rest.
That's 3 inches of wonderful that's in the MyPillow mattress topper. It's just like a firm cloud.
MyPillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
Go to MyPillow.com to get deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but so much more. For example, you get my 6-piece towel sets, regular $109.99, now only $44.98. Or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.